Vaheguru, 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 Guru, Oi, 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 Guru, Guru, Oi, 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 Guru,
Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru,
Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru,
Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru,
Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi,
Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, Oi, Guru, 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 Guru,
Oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi, Guru, oi,
gırıl, ah, gırıl, ah, gırıl, ah, gırıl, ah, gırıl, ah, gırıl, ah, gırıl,
Oy, gırı, 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 oy, guru wa 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 guru
ah, gırıl, 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 ah, gırıl,
oy giri 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 oy geri, oha, 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 Saja saja अंतर्गत हो जाइए. Start taking the chanting of the Guru mantra internal. जिन्हें साह अंदर न ਜਾਂਦਾ है वाहे ਕਹਿਣਾ ਸੁਰਤੀ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਸੁਰਤੀ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਵਾਸ ਬਾਹਰ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਜਾਏ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰਮੁਖਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਅਨਹਦ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਲਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। So as you're internally doing avyas meditation, as you breathe in, say Vahe with your mind. As you breathe out, say Guru with your mind. Those Gurumukhs that can hear celestial sound, you can focus in on those sounds directly. सो एडमिंटन के 7 बज चुके हैं। ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਥ ਸਾਥ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਨਾ। ਵਾਹੇ ਨੂੰ ਮਧਮਾ ਬਾਣੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਚਾਰਨ ਕਰਨਾ, ਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਬੈਖਰੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਵਿੱਚ। So we are going to start ਸਾਥ ਸਾਥ ਸਿਮਰਨ. Wahe is to be said in Madhma Bani as if you're whispering, and Guru out loud as we were chanting earlier. Saying Guru exhale once and we'll start. Guru ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਪੌਣ ਬਾਹਰ ਕੱਢ ਲਓ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। Guru 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 geri, 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 gire, 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 gire,
gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire,
gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, gire, Saji Saji Antargat ho ji. Start taking the chanting of the Guru Mantra internal. There is only about 9 minutes to do abhyas left. So for the 9 minutes just do Antargat abhyas. Sirf 9 minute reh gaye abhyas karna, hun Antargat hi abhyas karna. जिन्हें श्वास अंदर जाता वाहे कहना सुरती द्वारा गुरु कहना सुरती द्वारा जब श्वास बाहर ਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਜਾਏ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਨਾਲ ਅਨਹਦ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਲਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਦੀ ਕਾਇਆ ਦੀ ਖੋਜ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਣੀ ਜੇ ਗੁਰਮੰਤਰ ਦਾ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਿਓ ਕਿ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਪੌਣ ਨਾਭੀ ਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਟਕਰਾਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਭ ਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਸੁਰਤੀ ਦਾ ਟਿਕਾਓ ਕਰਕੇ ਅੰਤਰਗਤ ਸੁਣਨਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਦਾ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਸਹਿਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰਮੁਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਨਹਦ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਿਓ ਕਿ ਅਨਹਦ ਸ਼ਬਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਜੋ ਇੱਕ ਰਸ ਲਗਾਤਾਰ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਹੈ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਹਿਜ ਧੁਨ ਕਿਹਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਸੁਰਤੀ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਪਕੜਨਾ So just to explain in English, as you breathe in, say Vahe with your mind. As you breathe out, say Guru with your mind. Those Gurmukhs that can hear celestial sound already, Anahad Shabd, you can focus in on those Anahad Shabd, celestial sounds, directly. As you do Antargat Abhyas, as you meditate inside, if you're focusing on the Guru Mantra, try to find that point at the navel where the air reaches. Once you find that point, just sit there inside listening. And at that point, you do not follow the air any longer. And you only listen, no more chanting. Those Gurumukhs that can already hear celestial sound, Anahad Shabd, try to pick up the Sahaj Tun with your surti, with your mind. The Sahaj Tun is that one sound that does not break in between and plays continuously. ਗੁਰੂ ਰੂਪ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. So we're just doing a Vyas of the Guru Mantra, focusing inside as we breathe in and breathe out, or we're listening to Nam inside, celestial sound, Anahad Shabd. And before going Antargat, before doing a Vyas meditation internally, we're chanting the Guru Mantra, Sas Sas Simran, Sas Gras Simran, using those two different techniques. Maharaj tells us in Gurbani that our mind, its senses, have been put to sleep in this world of Maya, in this illusion. And upon these senses of ours, Kal, also known as Shaitan, that power of the Lord, which is to make this mind play within Maya, has placed a net upon all our senses. Maharaj says, Kal Jal Jeva Aranani, Kal Jal Jeva Aranani Kani Kal Sune Bikbani. That Kal has placed a net over our eyes, our tongue. Kal Jal Jeva Aranani. Jeva means the tongue, Nani means our eyes. Kani Kal Sune Bikbani. And a net over our ears, by which we only hear the sounds of Maya. That net that has been placed over our Gyanendriya, our five senses, doesn't allow us to see the truth, doesn't allow us to experience Vaheguruji. With our eyes, we only see this physical realm, this illusion, Maya. With our ears, we only hear the sounds of Maya. With our tongue, we only taste what is in this world of Maya. All that food that's for our physical form, which is also Maya. So our mind is caught in this illusion. In Gurbani, Maharaj teaches us that if we were to produce the fire of the Lord within, we could burn away that net. In fact, that net would be reduced to ashes. Maharaj says, Kal Jal Brahm Agni Jare, that the net of Kal can be reduced to ashes if we produce Brahm Agni, which is the fire of the Lord inside of us. And to produce that Brahm Agni, all we have to do is use the Shabd, the Guru Mantra, given to us by our Guru, to strike within at a particular point, to have that fire of the Lord come forth. Just as we use matches to light a fire by striking the match against the matchbox. Similarly, we're using the Guru Mantra to strike inside, beneath the navel point, where in Punjabi they say taran, where the taran is inside. Now, the taran doesn't have an exact translation into English. However, if you ever want to find out where it is,
when someone presses down upon their navel, beneath the navel there's this point where there's this pulsation, and that point is called the tar. And then sometimes there are practices in India, it's called navel displacement and putting it in back into place, that is also known as kisi de taran pegi. Like if someone has navel displacement, in Punjabi they say taran pegi. And what they do is they do massage and whatnot to try to bring that into place, that taran that's actually below the navel. Gurmukhs that search within their physical form, they have been taught through Gurbani, they have learnt through Gurbani, Jo Brahmande soi pinde jo khoja so pave, that whatever is within this universe is actually within our body, and what we want to search for within we can find. That Brahma Agan is actually the light of the Lord. But when that light is produced or appears below where the navel point is, it's known as the fire of the Lord. Brahma Agan. Agan means fire. Brahm is Vaheguru, God Himself. When that light appears up top, where the Sukhmana Nadi stops up top, this Sukhmana channel, what happens is that light is known as Brahm Jyot, the light of the Lord. So there's particular words that are used to describe different points where we would have that spiritual experience inside. And beneath the navel, the Sukhmana Nadi, the Sukhmana channel, reaches that point as well. It actually, the Sukhmana channel goes up from the top between just below the point between our eyes where the Sukhmana stops, all the way down to the navel. And beneath the navel, that Sukhmana Nadi, that channel, has been given a couple of turns, like it's coiled up, and sometimes people refer to it as basically the Kundalini. Within that Sukhmana channel is our actual spirit, the Atma, the soul, which travels along that Sukhmana channel and watches this play as a witness as to what's happening with the mind and what the mind is doing. And it watches this entire play as a witness. When we start to do meditation, our mind itself becomes that form of the spirit and goes beyond Maya, eventually becoming Atma Group. Atma means the soul, the spirit. And then our mind eventually merges into Paramatma, the Supreme Soul, Vaheguru Himself. The Atma inside has a constant connection with the Lord. The relationship between our soul and Vaheguru is described as the connection between a comet and that comet that streaks across the sky and has a tail of light following it. Maharaj says, Tara chadya lamma kyo nazar nihaliye Ram, sevak poor karama satgur sabd khale Ram, gur sabd khale sach samale enes dekh vichar. That the comet that streaks across the sky, it has light following it, a tail of light behind it. That comet represents the light of the Lord, And the light of the spirit, Atmak Prakash, the light of the soul, is that streak that's connected to that comet. And that Atma, the soul, the spirit, is within that Sukmana channel, which is the centermost channel of this that goes along the spinal cord. Maharaj teaches us that the celestial sound that we hear inside us is actually heard from that spirit, from that soul, which is within the Sukmana Nadi, within that Sukmana channel. Maharaj says, Sukman kehkar raag sun sun mandal lavlai, that when we hear that celestial sound inside, we are to connect with the sun mandal outside the astral plane. The Atma, the soul, has a constant connection with Paramatma, with Vaheguruji, with God. When our mind, doing abhyas, gets free of Maya and itself becomes one with that Atma, with the spirit inside, i.e. it becomes Atmak Roop, then eventually it goes to the point where it can merge into the Lord. Where Maharaj in Garbani says, Jini Atam Chiniya Paramatam Sway. When we are actually doing abhyas, we are trying to get to that Atmak Prakash first, so we can see that light. If that light is seen up top, it's known as Brahm Jot, the light of the Lord. And beneath where the navel point is known as the fire of the Lord. And Maharaj says that fire of the Lord reduces the net of Kal to ashes. Kal Jal, Brahm Agni Jare. And Maharaj says that that fire of the Lord can be brought forth by striking with the Shabd, which Maharaj mentions in Garbani. Brahm Agn Seje Par Jali Eka Chot Sajaya. So when we are saying Vah Guru, Vah Guru, at that time, when the air goes in as we say Vahe, we sort of move our stomach back, and then on Guru we relax and the air goes out, we exhale. When we're saying Vahe, we're trying to make that strike upon that point beneath the navel where the Taran is, so that Brahma Agn comes to be produced. Now, the striking of the Gurmantar that we're going to do always is to be with not too much force. If we overdo it, there can be too much Brahma Agn, the fire of the Lord, produced. As an example, my father-in-law, Paisa Paisa Singh Ji Tarmala, they would mention the phoenix. The phoenix is also mentioned in Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj's Garbani, and also in the writings of Bhai Nandalal Ji. The phoenix is said to fly around in a high point in the air, and when its time is up for life, it is said that the phoenix comes down from its point where it flies around, and it comes down to the ground. It takes branches, etc., in its mouth and creates a funeral pyre around its own body. And because it knows its last time here on earth, it cries and gives out a loud noise and strikes upon its navel, producing this fire that engulfs the phoenix. The phoenix gets reduced to ashes, but it leaves behind an egg. from that egg hatches a new phoenix, which rises up and flies off into the sky again. That's why in English there's that saying that the phoenix rises from the ashes, i.e., that's a phrase used for those people that are basically reborn again with their through their struggles in life. When everything is gone, they're reborn again and they start anew. The phoenix rises from the ashes. That's where that saying comes from. That's the legend of the phoenix bird. Now, that strike that phoenix makes with its voice upon its navel point causes it to self-combust. And this is why we are careful when we're doing meditation of the Guru Mantra, that we only want to strike so much as that we have our thoughts come to an end. That's how much Brahmagana we need. And Gurmukhs would tell us that if one was to do too much of a impact there, that self-combustion is a real thing and it can happen. So when we're meditating, we always want to go through this procedure of meditation carefully. So in Sangat, this is always in control. In fact, there was a point where this one Gurmukh did a lot of abhyas by themselves without guidance of the Guru Mantra. And in fact, they ended up producing a lot of Brahmagan within themselves by going Wah Guru, Wah Guru, Wah Guru. And they came during the winter to Gurdwara Prabhupada Ka Chao, and they met Bhai Sahib, my father-in-law, and they mentioned that I feel heat all the time and in a lot of discomfort. And they said, even though it's winter, I don't need to wear so much clothes because I feel that heat so much in me. I feel hot all the time. And my father-in-law, noting this, they said that you produce too much Brahmagan within. So what they did was they taught them a technique by which they could cool themselves down using Amrit Varka or Amrit Jal, by getting Amrit nectar inside to bring that Brahmagan down. And that's what that Gurmukh then practiced. The reason we are mentioning this is one, that it is something that we have to be careful of, that we always do meditation with guidance. Meditation, Nam Simran, is important because that is the way that we can meet the Lord and achieve our actual goal in life and achieve liberation, salvation, become one with Vaheguruji. However, when one meditates, it's important to have the right guidance. Because if you don't have the proper guidance, there can be some effects that are detrimental to the mind as well. So it's always something that we want to be careful of. The other thing is that the phoenix is an example of another species that's mentioned in Gurmat. The phoenix, how it self-combusts, and there's these rag rags are actual musical you can say musical compositions that are basically important in Gurmat. And Rag Deepak is actually a rag that's a popular rag that's connected to the phoenix. The phoenix, also known as Behangam Panchi, Behangam, and the Behangam is known as having a real high flying ability. And a Rag Deepak is one that is said to be able to light lamps if done properly. So Maharaj in Gurbani mentions many different species and in relation to our mind, in comparison with the type of love we should have for the Lord as well. As we talked about last week with the babiha, which was the rain bird. We also talked about how Maharaj mentions the fish, etc. in Gurbani in comparison with our mind. In Gurbani, which has many different examples, the koil is a bird which is a part of the cuckoo family, which is black in color, but it has a beautiful voice. And it's mentioned in Gurbani. And Maharaj says that the quail loves the mango tree. And Maharaj says, "Jyo kokal ko amb balha, tyo mera man ramaiya." That just as the mango tree is dear to the cuckoo, so is the Lord to my mind. And this bird, being dark in color, Maharaj mentions, in Bhagat Farid Ji's Bani, "Kali koel tu kit gun kali, apne pritam ke hom birah jali." That Bhagat Farid Ji says that they asked the black koel, "What qualities have given you this color?" "Kali koel tu kit gun kali." And the koel responds saying that I've actually been burnt by the separation from my beloved. Apne pritam ke hum birah jali. I.e., that our mind, when it's separated from the Lord, when it has that love for the Lord inside, and because of that love, feels that separation, it's like being burnt. That's the type of love our mind should have. If we are separated from the Lord, there should be this feeling that is that longing to be once again with the Lord. Another example in Gurbani is of the partridge, known as the chakor partridge. The chakor loves the moon, so much so that at night when the moon is out and seen, the chakor continues to look at the moon all throughout the night. And Bhagat Ravidas Ji, in their Gurbani, they mention all these examples of how our mind should be connected with Vaheguru Ji. And here they'll mention the chakor as well. But they start with, "Jo tum girvar to ham mora." If you are the mountain lord, then I am the peacock. जो तुम चंद तो हम पे है चकोरा. If you are the moon, then I'm the partridge, in love with it. माधवे तुम ना तोरो तो हम नहीं तोरे. That if you don't break the connection with me yourself, I'm not ever going to break that connection with you. तुमसे तोर कवन से जोरे. And if I were to break this connection with you, then who else am I going to connect with? I.e., you're everything for me. Rahao. Jo tum divra, to hum bati. If you are the lamp, then I am the wick. Jo tum tirath, to hum jati. If you are the sacred place of pilgrimage, then I am the pilgrim. Sachi preet hum tum se unjori. That, O Lord, I am in true love with you. Tum se unjor avar sang tori. I have connected with you and have broken my connection with others. Jai jai jao tahan teri seva. Wherever I go, I serve you. Tum so thakar aur na deva. There is no other Lord, Master than you, O Divine Lord. Tumre bhajan kate jam phansa. Meditating upon you, singing your praises, the noose of the messengers of death is cut away. Bhagat het gave Ravidasa. And with that loving devotion, Bhagat Ravidas ji says that I sing your praises. So here in Gurubani, Maharaj gives us many different examples of that love that we should have for Vaheguruji. And whether it's in the form of the rainbird, which we talked about last week, or the chakavi, which is another bird that we talked about, how it loves the sun because it gets to meet its beloved every morning when the two birds get separated at night because of the darkness. Whether it's the chakor, who throughout the entire night keeps looking at the moon. Whether it's the fish that has love for the water, the peacock for the mountain, the koil for the mango tree, the koil which feels separation from Vaheguruji, has that longing to connect, which is all actually our mind, how it's separated from the Lord. That love, that devotion is what we should have inside for Vaheguruji. And when Bhakt Ravidas ji talks about disconnecting from everyone else, it's disconnecting from everyone else with that false love, that moh, which is a false type of attachment that we have to our family members or family. True love, instead, is where we see divinity within everyone, where we want to meet the Lord. And in fact, we have so much true love inside us that we want to help others meet the Lord as well, whether it be family members or not. That spiritual love, that love comes directly from the Lord, and we see that Lord within all beings. So that was today's topic. There is one question. Is Atmak Prakash also known as the third eye opening? So many people in different cultures talk about the third eye. Technically, there is no third eye. What they use that for is when someone gets some abilities of clairvoyance, where they're able to see things that are beyond these eyes. They say that the third eye has opened. Technically, there is no actual third eye. That's more a reference to having clairvoyant abilities, where you're able to see past or future, or see things that are beyond these physical eyes' capabilities. That's also known as being Paradarsi, seeing the other side. That's something where people sometimes end up having abilities to see something far away with their eyes closed, which would be an ability of remote sensing as well. Atmak Prakash, seeing the Atma inside, is not really the third eye opening. It's your seeing your higher self, you can say. That's the Atmak Prakash. And that Prakash is in actually the form of the light of the moon. Maharaj says, "Jyon chamak ch nayan dekhe, anis jyot nirantar pekhe," that as the moonlight is seen, that is the type of light of the Atma inside. When Atmak Prakash happens with Vaheguruji's Kirpa, does it always stay? Now, that depends on how much Kirpa has happened. If one has had that much Kirpa, or they've done that much Abhyas that Vaheguruji has been pleased that they are always seeing the Atma, that can happen as well. And Maharaj says Punyo means Puranmashi basically. Punyo Pura Chand Akas Pasreo Kala Sahaj Pragas. That when we see the full moon, at that time what happens is that we get to see that light inside of the Atma, and that light inside means that we're seeing Atmak Prakash. Bhagat Kabir Ji's Bani mentions this as well. Punyo Pura Chand Akas Pasre Kala Sahaj Pragas Ad Ant Mad Hoye Reha Thir Sukh Sagar Mera Me Kabir. Bhagat Kabir Ji says that on the full moon fills the heavens. So that refers to inside. When we have Atmak Prakash, we see the light of the Atma inside like that. Now, if someone has that much kirpa upon them, they'll always see that light. But sometimes it's a matter of they see it for a short time and then they come back into the Trigun and then they're not seeing it because they have to work within this world. Sometimes what will happen is that they've seen it once, that light, and then they are to work towards it. So it's a very short time they've seen it. And sometimes it is that whenever they go into Abhyas, they go into that state over and over again. So it really depends on what level of spirituality one is at. And the one that Bhagavad Kabirji mentions, they mention that their mind is constantly at Sukh Sagar. Sukh Sagar is also actually known as Satoguna, which is the highest point of the Triguna, you can say. But the thing is that in that entire Shabd that they talked about how they became one with Vaheguruji, and then after that they got that Atmak Prakash inside, and they still come into the Triguna, but their mind remains at Satoguna. And for them it's always the Puranmashi, i.e. the full moon. Vaheguruji, does our Simran impact our spouse also? Do they receive the pun of our Bhakti Simran as well? Technically, if your spouse and you are doing Simran together, meditation together, that is what is ideal. And that helps both of you to become one on this journey of spirituality. But if one is not doing Simran, the only way they can get benefit of your Simran is if you're looking at them doing Simran, or you're focusing on them doing Simran, or they just happen to be seen by you when you're doing your Bhakti or they have your darshan, they get to see you when you're free of thought or you're connected with Nam. That helps them. But if they want full benefit, they have to do bhakti as well. Everyone, to be able to become immortal, i.e. Amar, i.e. merge into Vaheguru forever, everyone has to get to Nam inside. There are benefits of having family members that do bhakti. I remember one time we went to a place where a grandma, an older Gurumukh, she had passed away, but in her family, I believe it was her daughter-in-law or maybe her grandson's wife, that did a lot of bhakti. And I remember my father-in-law mentioning there that when a person constantly gets to see such a person that does bhakti like every day, that naturally they can go into Devlok, i.e. Devlok is that place where the angels dwell, or some people call them demigods, Devi Devte, which is above heaven actually. And they stay there until they get another opportunity into human form. I.e. they mentioned that the grandma got to see this person in her family all the time that did bhakti, and the grandma didn't get liberated, but she did naturally just go into Devlok. So that's the benefit of doing bhakti. You help so many when you meditate. So if one wants to be liberated, they must get to Nam, because Nam is the only way we can actually merge into Vaheguruji. That divine word must be heard inside. So aj iniya hi bentiyan san. So this was the topic for today that you've heard. If in speaking I've made any mistakes, please do forgive me. Akhravada ka tapul chuk maaf karne. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki fateh.